What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Voodoo Monkey Garage. We are excited to have you here with us. Today we are working on another, not the same one, but a different one, 2012 Toyota Highlander. Did I get it right this time? This isn't a Honda Passport, although that's what I want to call it. 2012 Toyota Highlander. This is one of the youth pastors from the church that we go to. His vehicle. It's been doing some funky stuff. So I was looking at it. Not a lot I really needed to film, but I'll tell you this. What it was doing is, like, occasionally after he drove it for a little while, he would come to an idle and it would just sound like the engine's about to blow up. It was just like, and it's like, bro, when he sent me the video, I was like, you need an engine. Period. Hard stop, end of story. And then he brought it to me and it was like purring like a kitten. It's fixed itself. So I charged him a ton of money and gave it back, and that's not what I did. So now you got to go through and do a bunch of diagnostic. Why is this occasionally, and of course when we have it we can't duplicate it, but why is it occasionally making this like noise like it's gonna blow up? So I thought, well, maybe it's the variable valve solenoids that are going bad, or the filters in those for the variable timing crap stuff gears, and but it's not throwing a check engine light. And a common thing that happens when those go bad is it'll throw a check engine light, and it'll also kick off like your traction control and stuff like that. None of that's happening. There's not even a stored code in this thing. Like, the car has no idea that there's a problem, like none whatsoever. So I called him up and started questioning him, and I know this is a story and you guys just want to see work, but listen to me. This is part of the diagnostic process, okay? So settle down and listen. I'm helping you out. Pay attention here. Jeez, impatient. Nah, I love you guys. Called and asked a bunch of questions. When did the noise start? Because he just got this like about a year ago from a used car dealership, and so then obviously the thought is like, oh, they put some like honey in this thing, you know, that old Lucas honey. It made it sound good until the next oil change. I don't think so, because it purrs way too nice for that. And he's done 2 oil changes since. Now he does his own oil changes. And then I find out he's using Pennzoil. Let me tell you, if you're using Pennzoil, stop. If you're using Quaker State, stop. That stuff is yunk. No good. It's a no bueno. Okay? Das ist nicht so gut. Whatever country you're in, I just told you like a few different ways. So I got to thinking, the first time he did the oil change, it really didn't do a lot of it. It did it once or twice, he said, and then the second time is when it started showing up a lot more. Plenty of oil in it. Then I asked him what viscosity of oil he's putting in there, and he said he was putting in a 530 weight. This car calls for a 020 weight. Typically, I wouldn't find that making a big difference, especially here in Arizona. It's hot as, well, you know what, out here. And things are just sweaty and swamp-assy, and the cars are the same way. They feel the same way, and oil, you know, gets thinner when it gets hot. So my thought is, let's go with something different. Let's try just the oil, because nothing else makes sense. If it was timing chain and guides, you'd hear slapping, not a knocking. If it was some of these other stuff, you'd hear ticking. It just sounds like this thing is going to hell. So I recommended we do an oil filter, we do an oil change, and put the right oil in it that's not Pennzoil. So that's what we did. I still have yet to duplicate it. But while we had it, so that's the thing to look at for that problem. If you're getting that and not a check engine light, I think the code that it will throw sometimes, if it's a solenoid, it'll throw one of the solenoid codes, or a couple of them. And these are known to go bad. The little solenoids sit right up on top here. There's 2 more in the back. There's 2 of these share 1 part number and the other 2 don't. So there's 3 different part numbers on them. They're quite simple to change. You've got oil supplies here down underneath this banjo bolt. When you remove that, there'll be a filter in there. You know, if that filter was plugged, it'd be making the noise more often. It wouldn't be so intermittent, because it wouldn't be getting oil whether it was hot or cold. So that I can eliminate that. I'm not getting slapping. I can eliminate the chain. I'm not getting a code. I can eliminate the variable valve solenoids. Is it potential it's the variable valve gears that are actually on the cam? That's a potential, but I don't think so, because again, that would most likely throw a code. So it's got to be something the car's not recognizing. So we're going to have him run with this new oil, the better oil, the right viscosity, and see if that makes a difference. We ended up going with a 520 weight. I don't like the 020 in the middle of summer. I just don't find that effective. So we went with a little bit thicker, a 520 weight, but we're not going to step it up to a 30. And we're going to see if that makes a difference on this engine. Upon my inspection, and he said he wanted to make sure it's safe for his wife, we found spark plugs have never been done on this. We're pushing 200 or 150,000 miles on this car, and they have never been done. How do you know? I'll show you when we get there. I did pull one. I'm ahead of you guys, I know, but I put it back together so I can show you guys how to do this stuff. But I did pull one and inspected it. I really didn't even have to pull it to tell you that it's never been changed, and I can show you how you at home can realize that your sparkulators have never been changed. Here's the fun part of that. To do these spark plugs, you have to remove this intake. To get this intake off, you got to remove all of this assembly. So we're going to end up taking off wiper blades, this full assembly here, the intake, the air box, all the vacuum lines. I'll show you how to get rid of the throttle body, move it off to the side without disconnecting coolant. We don't want to refill coolant or deal with that system. I also found the air filter was just absolutely nasty and dirty. I know it looks pretty, but trust me, in Arizona, throw one of these on the ground, and when it goes, you know, it looks like a fat man that farted with baby powder. That's a problem, and that's not breathing right. Remember COVID times when everybody was wearing a mask? Well, why don't you roll that mask around in a bunch of mud and dirt and then breathe through it? It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna starve. Your engine's the same way. So we're gonna get this thing fresh air coming in. We're gonna get it fresh sparkulators. The belt on the serpentine belt on this thing, or drive belt, whatever you want to call it. I think O'Reilly's calls it the alternator drive belt. I don't care what you call it. It's worn out too. We don't want them stuck on the road with that thing popping on them. So a lot said for some work. And spark plugs seem easy. They are right up here. These are simple. If all you're gonna do is the front three, they're easy. But please don't, because that's just dumb. You know, we got to do the back three also. And there's some hidden brackets and some things we'll show you on that. But let's get this apart, show you guys what we're doing. I think I'm going to start with just the serpentine belt. That's the easiest thing to do. I'm going to do this on the lift. Can you do it from the top? I guess if you have like anorexic arms. I don't. I'm like Popeye. So like these mitts, giant freaking monkey paws and arms are not getting down to where I really need to do this properly. So we're going to get it from the bottom. I recommend you do it as well, actually from the side. And we'll show you how that's done. We're also going to rotate tires for them, inspect the brakes while we have the tires off. So let me get the wheels off this thing. I'm going to get those rotated. I'm going to inspect brakes. I don't know if you guys need to come along with that. That's up to Drew. He's the man behind the camera. And we'll leave this wheel off so we can get access to the serpentine belt. We'll lower this thing back down and we'll start tearing all of this off so we can do 3 general maintenance spark plugs. Thank you, Toyota. Even if you can get to it from the back, you can't. There's brackets and stuff in the way. It's dumb. The backside is a royal pain, and I don't know how much we're going to be able to show, but we're going to do our darndest, let me tell you. All right, let's get her up in the air. All right guys, so with this one we're going to do the serpentine belt first, like I said. So the way I do these on the Highlanders is remove the passenger side wheel. I could say tire, then you guys go, it's your wheel, whatever. Passenger side passenger side wheel. Then you're going to find right here, oh, those are 12s on these, aren't they? I'm already missing my 10mm out of here. Somebody has decided they liked it better than me. That's always fantastic to figure out. So I was right. I don't know why there was an 8 on the gun. Actually, I do know why. Joey. 10mm screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. And then I'll show you something else you may have on yours. This one does not. See that hole right there? There's supposed to be a push pin in that. Not necessary. It's not like this thing's gonna go flying off and fall apart, but you may find that you've got to peel this back and there's a hole back there, or you've got to disconnect a couple other things to be able to peel this back. And there's be one more spot where that mounts. You can see where the hole is. So just follow that back on yours. It's going to be back behind that panel. So be aware if it doesn't come right off, because that's in the way and still hooked up. You'll need to remove that. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more because, well, I'm tall. And I don't feel like, you know, doing a little crouching tiger, hidden puppy thing to get in there. So we're gonna lift this up a little bit more. Any way you shake it, these aren't really the most fun to do, because they do kind of just tuck them in there. If you want to, you can remove some more, but you're gonna have that frame right there. So you can remove skid plate if you want to, but our tensioner is right here. Can you see that? Can you get up in there? There's our tensioner right there. The nice thing is it's on a pivot, and if you look right here, if you look right here, there's a hole. So we're going to be able to like pull back the tensioner, put a pin through that, it'll lock into that hole back there, and that'll hold the tensioner in place. That does make this a lot nicer. It's one of the few things that Toyota did when they thought of other people, which is quite nice. So we're going to grab something to put in there, a small screwdriver, a Allen, something that we can fit into that hole. We'll pull back this tensioner and get that pinned in. Let me get that settled for you guys, and then we'll show you how this goes. Look at that. 14mm bolt up there. You're just going to put it on that bolt, go counterclockwise with it, and then jam a pin in that hole. That'll lock it all down for you. Now you want to pay attention to which way the belt comes off. So make sure you keep your eyeballs on it, because you want to see exactly how that comes off, you know. I'm going to take it off with the tensioner first, and then we're going to look up real quick how it routes. Oh yeah, that's easy enough. Sure. I'll forget by the time we go put it back on. But we'll just pull it off that tensioner. That'll loosen it all up for us. And hopefully, by the grace of all that's holy, we don't have to lower this down to get to that alternator. That'll be really nice. Sometimes they just like to, you know, hang tight onto everything. So right now I think we're just getting hung up on bolts on this pulley. So you just gotta lay the belt flat and get past these bolts, and she comes right out of there. So you will see right here on our water pump pulley, there's the 4 bolts. The belt is not wide enough to fit between the wall of the frame and those bolts. So when you're coming out, you're not gonna be able to pull straight down. You will have to turn the belt sideways. So that's usually the last pulley you'll come off of, because, because. Grab our new belt. Now we ordered this from O'Reilly's, and there's no way they could be wrong. So we're just gonna trust them and go with it. No, we're not. Same width, same number of ribs. You can almost even take them and stack them and match them up. Just do a little bit of stuff before you do it. You take your belts, stretch them out with each other, make sure they're the same length, and look good to you? Huh? Okay, looks good to me. Then you can throw that old one off to the side. When I go back up in, I'm gonna start on the water pump. I'm gonna lay the belt sideways so I can get past these bolts. It naturally wants to curve in. So if we can get it to go sideways a little bit, then we can get up on that water pump. We got one more bolt we're getting hung up on. Feel it. Might have to spin the pulley, something just to grab that belt up in there. Sucks being tall sometimes. What are we hung up on there? Come on. Should I mean, this is a belt. It shouldn't be this difficult. Just go up in there. There you go. And then just send it. You know, you're done. The new belt just dangles like that, and it's good to go. You know, we just walk away and go back in the cool shop. Oh, it's so freaking hot out here now. We'll put it back together, right? I guess. We just gotta do some looping around and hoop-de-hoos and whatsy-nots, and just loop it back the way it came. Should be under that guy, over that guy, around that guy, under that guy. Yeah, just like that. Okay, what pulley are we not fully on here, guys? Something is off. That's on. That's off. Nope, it's right here. Just need a little bit of more space to get that on there. Okay. Woo! Man. Good word. You know, this isn't that hot out here, really. I'm just gonna tell myself that because, you know, why not? 14, okay. It's just, you know, we can't get this shop built quick enough. Just saying. Just can't get it built quick enough. I just used a bolt that fit in the hole. It almost doesn't matter what you use as long as it's not a toothpick, because that's not going to hold the tension. See this sweat beading down the face? That's what I do for you guys. Man. I need like a third person here, Drew, with like a towel, like dabbing me as I go. Like some bougie freaking mechanic. All right, I'm just gonna check, do a little swat here, make sure everything's back to where it goes, where it belongs. And then we'll put this little cover back on here. And we'll be good to go on that serpentine belt. All we got left to do is the spark plugs. You know, that's it. You know, take apart the whole engine so we can put a spark plug in. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just a lot of crap that has to come off. But it's really not that big of a deal. There's going to be one or two brackets that are not fun, but that's okay. It's a Toyota. You know, what do you expect? All right, buddy. You're up, okay? It's your turn to go home. Back to your home on Whore Island. Perfect. What is that? Because there can only be one Highlander? Because there can only be one Highlander. I don't know what that's from. Maybe you guys do. Drew was saying it and thought it'd be like an obscure reference for you guys, and I think he's right. I guess it's obscure for me. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying when he says that. But he's saying something. Oh, why is that so chilly? Interesting. Well, while you're in here, make sure you look at everything too. If you got her up, check the struts. Are they wet? You know, check some of your tie rods. Are they wiggly and creaking? And look at some of your bushings. Are they bad? You know, on your control arms. You're in here, guys. Like, look, we're gonna tell the customer that he's not far off from needing some, you know, control arms, because they're getting a little worn out. Some of his bushings aren't as easy to see, but I can see that these are getting a little bit cracked and worn out. Those are getting a little split and worn out. So inspect on this. Make sure everything else looks good. People that were in here before have done what they're supposed to do. And, you know, that's all we're asking. I don't know why I brought it so low, but protect on everything. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting those spark plugs any other way, so we're gonna do it the fun way. But for the time being, we're right here, so we can throw a tire on, because we're done on this side. So while we're on our break, cooling off, sitting here in the shop for a minute, just kind of bringing the core temperature down and drinking some agua. Be a good time to let you know about our friends. Nectar. Nectar Energy, NECTR. Well, they're more than just energy, they're nectar pouches. You know, every once in a while you might see us with one of these things. They're not what you think. I know, you think they're all the lip pillows. You got one in the upper decker there, buddy. Oh, you're putting one down in the basement. I like to put mine in the basement. These are a nicotine-free. This one's actually fresh mint. Super flavorful. Better than an energy drink. Little lip pillow. Helps freshen my breath. Gives me some B12 and some caffeine, you know. Gotta get your vegetables. And helps you going, you know. We'll hold it upside down so that you guys can see it. Flip the phone. There you go. Nectar. Go grab you some. Nectar. NECTR. A lot of great flavors. They've got some that are just flavor. They got some that are like this one, energy. And they got other ones that I like to use that are focus. The beautiful thing is they're all nicotine free. Kind of keeps you going for the day, you know? Who needs one of those other competitor, you know, toxic drinks when you can just pop a little lip pillow down in the basement there, bud, or two. Get some. Done anything on dirty already. Fat. Too old and fat for all this crap. Oh, there's that camera in my face again. Jeez, always with the camera in the face.